Why don't you want mom to feel uncomfortable? Why are you okay with feeling uncomfortable so that mom doesn't? That's what you need to really sit with right now. Yes, you have empathy for her. Yes, you understand that her childhood was tumultuous. Yes, you understand that she went through a lot of shit and da 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 blah 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 blah. You understand it. That's the empathetic part of you. But that's also the part of you that wants to spiritually bypass how much rage and anger that you have towards mom. How much you really want to cuss her the fuck out sometimes. Because if you really said what you wanted to really say, mom's feelings would be hurt. But you're not trying to come from a place of pain anymore. You're trying to come from a place of love. But sometimes she makes it hard. Damn. Sometimes she makes it hard. So sometimes what you have to do is walk the other way for a second. But what you also have to do is speak up. And stop perpetuating the ideology that you're this 5-year-old little child that needs mom in order to move forward. You don't. What you need to do is honor yourself. Is honor how you truly feel in order to move forward. Because this walking around on eggshells is seeping into all the other aspects of your life. Because the person that you're most scared to speak up to is mom. Which, if you can break that cycle with her, then you can start doing it with anyone. This is also directly correlates with your inability to show up in romantic relationships empowered. Because of your inability to speak up with mom, you also have a blocked throat chakra when it comes to speaking up to your partners, which has gotten you in trouble. You not speaking up has gotten you in trouble, but you like to be the victim and say that it's everyone else's behavior, but you have not spoken up to actually correct them. You want people to just know how to love you and think exactly how you think so that you don't have to get uncomfortable and challenge someone. Because when you tried to challenge people in the past, you were met with abuse. You were met with gaslighting. You were met with verbal invalidation. And so you're still running that program that everyone will be this way. But newsflash, you have to still speak your truth to see if those people still act how mom and dad acted. By you keeping quiet, you are turning a blind eye to the red flag that will be evident once you just show up and be yourself. How do they act when I'm myself? Oh no, are you still wanting to play a character to make sure that they don't do anything that's out of alignment so that you guys can just be in this fake harmony? When really both of you are playing characters because it's a trauma bond. Until both of you guys recognize that this bond is not fun. That you don't want to bond in the chaos that you guys came from in childhood. But you're perpetuating it in the relationship over and over again. Because both of you guys are scared to speak up. It all comes back to what you're not saying. I think that's page 3 in my book. It all comes back to what you're not saying. That's keeping you stuck. Your cough went away. I love that. Okay? You're not responsible for mom and dad's emotions. And you have to stop thinking that you're doing them a service by, not being honest about certain things. And if you've gotten to the point where you have spoken your truth a million times and they've shown you time and time again that they're not able to receive you, then this is where you have to do what you need to do in order to protect your peace. Do you need a month off? Do you need to scream? Do you need to cry? How are you going to sift through these emotions without the conversations from mom and dad that you so desperately think you need in order to heal? You don't need any conversations from mom and dad to heal. You just need to say out loud how you actually feel. Stop running from it. Stop trying to immediately go to the point where you forgive them because you understand where they came from. That's spiritually bypassing. It's because it's uncomfortable for you to feel extreme sadness. It's because it's uncomfortable for you to get angry consciously because you do it unconsciously a lot. But for you to consciously pull up this anger, it's really uncomfortable for you because you're used to projecting it. You're used to having some type of reason, an excuse on why you're so angry. So your child doing something made you angry, or this person that you're dating not thinking the same way that you are made you angry, or something that this person did on the road made you angry. So it justifies the anger instead of justifying the true meaning of it. Because that kid, that person that you barely know, and the person that you're fighting with on the road that you also don't know is not the root of why you can't control your emotions. They're not the root of it. You can't control your emotions because they've been suppressed for so long. You can't control your emotions because you were never taught how to cope. You can't control your emotions because you don't even speak about why you're so emotional. You shove it down. You cope. So yeah, you don't know yourself. So therefore, you can't articulate who you are when you come into relationships. So you wear the mask that you always have worn because that's what you know. You're comfortable playing the character that you've started playing at a young age to fit in. And you do it in dating. And then you get upset when someone doesn't really love you for you, when someone doesn't really get you, when someone doesn't really understand. You get upset. You take offense to it. But you're not really being you. You're showing up wearing a facade as well. So are you mad at yourself? At what point are you mad at yourself? At what point are you mad at yourself? Because it can't always be everyone else. You're even sick and tired of it being everybody else. You are, because you see that you're the common denominator in this pattern. So yeah, you're even tired of it. Oh, it's always this guy or it's always this woman, and women always do this and men always do this and people always do. No, you are always accepting the shit. Why? You are always attracting it. Why? You're always doing the same thing but expecting different results. Why? Why do you lead the same way? What is going to change if nothing changes? What boundaries do you have in place so that you can really sift through who's for real and who's not? What standards have you raised so that you can really give yourself the time to see who it is that is worthy of your choosing? Or are you still in the mindset of wanting to be chosen? That's a big difference. Are you still in the mindset of wanting to desperately be chosen by someone else, that you're not recognizing that you're the chooser? Do you even choose half these people that you want so desperately to choose you? Do you actually choose them? Or do you just want to be chosen? Do you just want to know that someone else on this planet loves you for who you are, even though you're not even being who you are? You're not even being who you are. You're not even being all the parts of who you are because you try to hide the ticking time bomb anger and you try to hide the controllingness. Oh, you try to act like you're all go with the flow in the beginning, but then the control freak comes out because you're like, yo, I don't feel safe unless I'm controlling another person because I don't choose my ability to choose. I don't trust my ability to choose people that I don't feel like I have to control. I don't trust my ability to choose partners that I don't feel like I have to micromanage in order not to hurt me. Yeah, that's the real reason why you're so controlling in relationships, because you don't trust your ability to choose people that are not out here trying to hurt you. So you think if you can control every aspect of the relationship, then you can guarantee that you won't feel that pain that you felt in childhood again. But you end up feeling it because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because the more that you try to control somebody, the more they run away from you. Because you know when someone is on you, like white on rice, it's repelling. But when someone is confident and they act like they have their own thing going on and they don't put all this pressure, then you're kind of like, damn, you don't really need me. Well, it's interesting. But that codependency energy is repelling. It's not cute. So if someone loves the fact that you guys are together 24/7 and we're completing everything and I have to be you and you're me and all that, you guys are in a trauma bond, babe. Yeah, that's why both of you guys like it, because you're in a trauma bond. There's a difference with being healthy and really loving to be around your partner, but still knowing that the outside world exists. Still being able to have friends, still being able to have hobbies, still being able to have a life outside of your partner. That's where a lot of us have went wrong in these relationships. We literally have put so much fixation on the partner that we forgot about all the things that make us us. We forgot about the quirkiness and the individuality and the hobbies and the friends and the things that we used to love outside of a relationship, because our whole ideology and our whole society is fixed on finding a partner, being with somebody to distract yourself from the truth of who you are, feeling like you're less than unless you have someone next to you. It's what we've been programmed to believe about ourselves based on all those movies. I mean, I love Nicholas Sparks just like the next person, but his movies really show love in a way of feeling like I'm not worth it unless I have it outside of myself. Okay? So those of you that have been really yearning for love, those of you that are really done playing with the trauma bonded love, the unhealthy toxic love, and you're really ready to jump into true partnership, you're really ready to embody the partner that you're seeking, it's time to embody it. Okay? It's time for you to stop focusing on looking so much and worrying more about becoming and knowing that you are magnetic. You attract love. You don't chase it. You don't have to chase it. You need to focus more on how you can fulfill these voids that you think this partner is going to fill on your own, because that's what you're still doing. If your whole fixation is on when's the partner coming in, when's the partner coming in, how come the partner, you still feel like you're in lack. There's still some sense of lack within. And I'm not saying that it's not okay to yearn for a partner. I think it's very normal for us to be in partnership and to coexist. That I think that's how we're programmed. But we also have a point in this journey where we learn to stand on our own, where we really learn what that self-love looks like, because we don't know the timing. And a lot of us have gotten to the point where we don't want to entertain any more toxic relationships just to say that we have a relationship. We are getting to the point where we want to stand tall and feel so happy and excited within ourselves that we don't need anything else outside of ourselves, right? And then that's when you can really show up being the partner that I know a lot of you are really craving and yearning to be. Someone that stands on their own. Someone that comes in 100%. So that way when your partner's at 50, you can step in a little bit more. That still has your same desires and mission and purpose. That wants to meet somebody that's on your same frequency, that wants to build this same dream. Because a lot of you guys are not meant to be working a 9 to 5, and you know it. A lot of you guys have a big mission to impact the world in a very huge way through humanitarianism, through giving back, through learning, through teaching, through being, right? Just through being your authentic self, you are teaching and giving people permission. But by me showing up, doing my thing, doing my cards, a lot of you guys feel empowered to start doing your oracle cards and start doing your reading. By me coming on here doing my music, a lot of you guys have purchased bowls and gotten into it because you're like, damn, okay, I'm seeing somebody. Representation matters. So that's why it's so important for you guys to really step in, not knowing that people are watching you. You are a role model, whether you like it or not. And what you're supposed to model is not perfection or telling people what to think or trying to control people. It's just being your authentic self and showing people you can do that too. That's it. Whatever it looks like for you. It may not look different, and it will look different for me. Your thoughts and visions may look different, but as long as you're following your heart, you're doing it right. And so anyone trying to tell you that following your heart, even if that looks different, is wrong because it looks different than them, that's not someone that you want to be around. That's not someone that has your best interest at heart. If someone tells you, hey, I know you want to follow your heart, but you following your heart makes me uncomfortable, or you following your heart, I don't approve of that, or you following your heart, I don't like how that looks, or whatever that is, you need to really look at that person and think, is this someone who has my best interest, or is this someone who wants me to wants to control me? Right? There's strength in numbers, but there's a lot of people on this planet that think that they have to trick people in order to grow community. There's a lot of people that think they have to deceive people. No, you don't. Just be honest and let people choose you willingly. Okay? I choose myself, and therefore whoever chooses me, I'm choosing myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not having to deny parts of myself. I'm not having to lose parts of myself in order to grow and have people resonate. It feels good to not have to keep up something, to really be able to speak true. I've been speaking the same messages for the last 3 years. I've evolved in the things that I've learned, but my principles and who I am have remained the same since I've been on this app, since I've been going live for the last 3 years now. And I love that. It makes me feel a lot less anxious because I don't have to pretend. And one day I show up super angry, I can just be angry. Sometimes I feel super anxious. I tell you guys I'm feeling anxious. You can tell. Sometimes I just need to cry on here, and I just cry on here. If you've been here, you've seen it. And I love that. I love that. I love that I am just really training and reprogramming myself to show myself that the anxiety comes when I feel like I can't show up authentically. It's true. The times where I've known that I've had to go live, okay, it's time for me to go live, and I'm feeling really, really sad about something, something's happening with my dad, or something's happening, whatever. I start feeling anxious when I'm like, oh, I don't feel really empowering today. I don't feel like I can stand up and just give this powerful message like I normally do. I start feeling anxious because I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna, how do I do this? Because I have to be this, because they only are with me because I show up and I give them powerful messages. And then all of a sudden I say, no, that's an old program that you're running. The new program is that they're here because of who you are, all parts of you. And if they're not here for all parts of you, guess what? You're going to lose some people. You may potentially lose some people today. Are you okay with that in order to be yourself? And the answer is yes, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with losing some people that only love the part of me that is giving messages empowered like this. I want the community that also sticks by me when I don't have the words, when I'm just sitting here crying, when I just need space held for me. Because I'm not continuing to build one-sided relationships, not even in my online community. I'm not. And the only way that I can guarantee that I'm not doing that is to show all sides of myself and allow you guys to make a conscious choice whether you want to continue showing up based on who I am as a person. I don't want to try to trick you to keep showing up because I need to be a certain way. That's what the people-pleasing shit is. Let me just try to keep doing this because I know this gets a response. And no, that's exhausting. I'm going to keep being myself. Yeah, Kat. So, yeah, this message, I don't know who this was for today, but I love it. All right, let's get into a little mini collective reading, and then we will get into the personalized readings. But I haven't pulled cards collectively for a little bit, and I really want to. I miss it. Okay? So let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. So those of you who want to give me permission to collectively tap into your energy, go ahead and tap on the screen. When we get done with this little mini, we're going to do about 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Y'all know how I can get long-winded. We're going to do a little collective reading, and then we'll get into that. Hey, Ginger. Okay. Good. I'm glad that you had received the message, babe. It's good to see you. Keep doing the work. I see you posting your videos, being consistent. Keep doing the thing. I see you. Your messages are heard, okay? And they're important, so keep doing it. All right. Okay. Wait, where's this other book? Oh, here it is. All right, y'all. So tap on the screen if you want to give me permission to tap into your energy. Also, take a deep breath in. And release. Okay, so this has been a while since I've kind of tapped in with some of the names, but Magdalene was a name that just came in. Magdalene, or maybe Maddie or Marie. So if there's someone that you're connected to, if there's someone that's transitioned that has that name, or a name that starts with the letter M, if there's someone that is heavy on your heart whose name starts with the letter M, this could definitely be a little collective message for you. It also could be mom. It also could be something with mother, with mom. Yeah, something with mom that has been weighing on you. Hi, Kara, your cousin today. Oh, okay. All right. Something with the letter M. Whoever I'm connecting with, you keep daydreaming about being out in the jungle, out just disconnected from all of this life. Whoever I'm connected with wants a completely different life. You want something completely different than what you're doing right now. Like, you're so ready to get into this new timeline that it's forcing you to really get like uncomfortable, okay? Because you're just like, I want this so much, and the more and more that I'm seeing other people step in, the more and more that I'm going to Kristen's page, going to Stay Hype's page, I'm seeing that this shit is available to me, but I'm the one that's not believing it. Okay, I'm the one that's not believing it. And so you're just like, okay, I'm tired of this. And so you're starting to shift a lot more. You're starting to resonate with different readings. And newsflash, if you're over here connecting with my readings and channeled messages, and you're like, yeah, I get readings. And so 9 times out of 10, you have the ability to do this. What you see in me is also within you. The reason why you believe me, the reason why you send money to do readings and do all these things is because you know that it's true. Or else, why would you do it? You know, and you believe in people's ability to tap in, because the things that people have said, the things that I have said have been too spot on for it to just be a coincidence, especially because I don't know you. How do I know this? How do you just, it's just a coincidence that you're here. So stop gaslighting yourself is one of the messages for you, for someone on here. You gaslight your gifts and your ability to channel, and this is what keeps it weak. The more that you believe in it, the more that you go ahead and grab your cards, the more that you just get it out here and you just start allowing yourself to play and have fun with it, the stronger it's going to be. So whoever's on here, yeah, this is your gift. Okay, the restriction is in your mind, and it's because you grew up with a family that really disconnected you from source. You grew up with a family that did not think like you, that was very different than you. You grew up in a family feeling like a black sheep, and a lot of your esoteric and imaginative ideas were always shut down. Or you grew up from the family saying, stop being weird, you're being weird, you're this and that, and so you didn't like that. And this could be someone who grew up in a African or Latina household. It doesn't have to be, but you could be in an African American, African, or Hispanic household where these things were really, really looked down upon, especially because of religion. So a part of you is disconnecting from something that is very gifted in you because you have another wounded part that thinks that what you're doing is against God, when actually it is literally a gift from God to be able to channel and deliver the message. And the fact that you know that it's time for you to start speaking up and helping people is the predicament, because you're scared of it. This is why I played a lot of the throat chakra ball this morning. A lot of you need to open that throat chakra. A lot of you need to start speaking up. Hi, Jamie. Okay, so the restriction that you feel has a lot to do with the family dynamics. You didn't come from a family. Okay, I've said this analogy before, but I'm going to say it again. Matilda. Raise your hand or put a heart in the comments if you've seen the movie Matilda. Have you seen the movie Matilda? If you haven't seen it, go watch the movie Matilda. It is, I think, in the 90s or early 2000s with the little girl from Mrs. Doubtfire. If you have not seen Matilda, you need to see it, because that is what it is. This is what it is. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do I need to say anything else? Do you know what I'm talking about? You are Matilda. And so Matilda just needed one person to really nourish her. And I'm going to... if you haven't seen it, okay, you should see it already. It doesn't matter. But can I tell you, though, for those of you, and I told this secret, I told this little Easter egg before. Do you know that Matilda is really Miss Honey's inner child? Matilda doesn't really exist in that child form in the same time. Obviously, time is not linear, so Miss Honey is experiencing her on herself, but when she goes back to the house and all these different things, she's trying to see if her family has changed, and she sees that she hasn't. So she takes her inner child, she finally rescues her inner child, and when she goes to fight Miss Trunchbull for the house, that is her finally fighting, standing up. That's when Matilda goes into Miss Trunchbull. That's her finally standing up, and then at the end, she gets the house. It's all nice and bright. So yeah, Matilda is Miss Honey's inner child. I know. And so watch the movie again. Watch it again. Okay? The restrictions are in your mind, and you have to take your power back. You are still living in the paradigm that you're that little child. You're still acting like you're that little child when you don't have to. It's because you're so scared of the abandonment. The reason why you shut your mouth when dad would cuss you out, the reason why you shut your mouth when mom would do whatever, is because you didn't like the stonewalling, because it would make you so upset when you would get ignored in your family, because you didn't like when dad was upset with you. It really hurt you when dad pulled away his love. That shit hurts as a child, because you know deep down, I need this love to survive. I need you to see me. I need you to let me know if I'm doing right from wrong. I need you to set boundaries. This is why a lot of people who grew up with the fun house, the fun mom, you too are upset and rageful because you needed those boundaries. You needed people to tell you right from wrong. Now you're over controlling because you grew up with a house that didn't have no rules and you got into a lot of trouble. Maybe you had a baby too young. Maybe you had sex too young. Maybe you got into drugs too young. And now you're the over controlling parent, which is something you also don't like, because no one taught you that balance growing up. And you're so scared of your kids following in your footsteps, so much so that you're literally strangling them. You're going to push them to it because you try to take them away from it so deeply because you're scared. You see how the shit manifests, you guys? I could go on and on. about the paradigm. You guys know I talk about that pendulum swing all the time. When you grew up in a household that had no rules, you can either have no rules yourself and think that you need to be the cool mom, or you can go too far on the other side of the spectrum and you can be that helicopter mom where your kids don't feel like they have any autonomy or any sovereignty at all. Neither of them is healthy. We're all doing stuff out of our fears. We're all doing stuff out of our wounds. And we think that it's the best thing, but really the best thing is to let other people make their own decisions, to teach people right from wrong, and to let people know this is what happens when you do this. This is what happens when you do that. Not to say, don't ever do drugs, ever. Never. Drugs are, no, it's not. No, they're not. That's not true. And people are going to always contradict that. So why don't you just prepare your child for the world? Yeah, you're probably going to be hit with this. This is what happens if you do this and you don't test it. This is very true too. But on the flip side, I've had some really awesome experiences as well. You just have to be safe and you got to use your own mind. Doing drugs is not something that you should be peer pressured into. So if you feel this feeling in your stomach, it probably is best to say no. But in the flip side, if you want to say yes, let me prepare you from these different things. So let's go through the different ones and let me tell you how they've impacted me, and let me tell you some real life experiences, and you can make your own choices. This is parenting to me. Not telling somebody what to think so you can create the same paradigm and the same toxic ass shit that you went through. No, we got to do it different. So in order to break this fear of speaking up, you got to let your child have a voice. You got to shut up sometimes and listen to your children, because you don't know everything. And I'm speaking to someone specific because I don't have children. But there's some parents on here that need to hear this. And it's not coming from a place of trying to shame you. It's not coming from a place of trying to tear you down. It's coming from a place of love, because it's the truth. Sometimes you do need to shut up and listen. You don't know everything. And that is a trauma response. You always feeling like you have to be in control and be in charge is because you had somebody bullying you. And so now you've grown up and become the bully. I got to say it. You were bullied by your mom and dad. You were bullied by that narcissistic parent, and you grew up and became the bully because your children have become your punching bag from the shit that you have not dealt with on your own. You're projecting it, and I'm here to be the pattern disruption that you need. I'm here to let you know that you're the elephant in the room sometimes, because you don't have friends that may be on this journey with you, or that may have the confidence or whatever it is that is brave enough or loves you enough to tell you the truth. You got a lot of yes men around you that are kissing your ass because they don't want you to go deep with them. So they're not going deep with you because you have bonded with your friends as well. You've bonded in the superficialness. You've bonded in the fact that we don't ever talk about anything deeper than the surface level shit because we both are scared of it. This is why we like to drink together. And this is why we like to escape together. Trauma bond is not just romantic. It's also platonic. So look around at your friends when you stop coping with alcohol. Look at where your friends go when you decide to sober up for a little bit. A lot of you have already seen how much they've fallen off, because now what do we have in common? Nothing, because what we had in common is that we both like to escape from the shit that we went through. That's what we had in common. That's why we allowed each other to abuse each other. This is why we talk shit about each other. This is why we gossiped about each other. This is why we were passive aggressive. This is why we used each other to be the butt of the joke, because we were in a trauma bonded relationship. That best friend, that soulmate that you don't even feel safe with, that best friend, that soulmate that you feel so scared is going to judge you once you start posting your content. Do you have one of those? Do you have a best friend or a soulmate that you say all these things, but now that you want to shift gears, you feel so scared of their judgment the most? It's that one person that really is making you feel scared. It's not all these other people. Or it's the fact that you already have stepped out and that best friend and that soulmate hasn't shared one post. That best friend and that soulmate hasn't acknowledged anything that you're doing. Are you going to keep lying to yourself about how this relationship really makes you feel just because you guys have been friends for 20 plus years? Just because you guys are this and that and you've been through this and that? Or are you going to actually get real about the type of relationships that you want? Or are you going to keep accepting relationships that you don't want so the universe can keep sending you what it is that you accept? Or are you going to create space for the relationships that are more aligned with where you're going now, and be brave enough to let go of what's no longer serving you, even if they've been in your life for 20 years, even if you grew up talking about being in each other's weddings, even if you grew up talking about, I'm going to be the godparents and we're going to be the kids of this and that, acknowledging that some people are in your life for a season. And maybe you're recognizing that the biggest lesson that they came here to teach you is how you don't want to be treated. Damn. I like that. Maybe the biggest lesson that they came here to teach you is how you don't want to be treated. Can someone send that to me in a DM? Maybe the biggest lesson that they came here to teach you is how you didn't want to be treated. Can someone send that to me in a DM, please? These downloads have been hitting. I don't know if you guys can. I feel like I don't even know what's going on. It could be a whole tornado outside and I wouldn't even know what's going on. I feel so tapped in right now. It's crazy. Oh, I forgot that I pulled cards. Okay, yeah. So, the family and the restriction, you guys. I don't know how much deeper I can go into it. I really don't know how much deeper I can go into the fact that you got to start creating your own your own shit. You got to start creating your own traditions. You got to stop living in these paradigms. Okay? You got to stop, and you have to start nourishing people who also want to nourish you. Stop trying to get this friend or this parent or this partner to be what you need them to be, and go where you are really ready to go. It is not their job to be the friend that you need them to be right now. It's not. They are exactly where they're supposed to be in this journey, and maybe losing you is exactly what they need to wake up. Can someone send that one to me? Maybe losing you is exactly what they need to wake up. Can someone send that one to me? We're just going. Let's just keep going. Maybe losing you is exactly what they needed to wake up. But you don't have to stick around to find out. Okay? You don't have to stick around to find out. Your revenge comes from being wildly happy. Your revenge comes from stepping in and saying, hey, I love you. I see you. I'm not going to talk shit about you. I have nothing to say about you. But I love me enough to say, hey, I deserve someone who wants to pour in the same way. I deserve to have relationships with